Nuggets find a way to get the job done in the Big Easy. Big performances from Peyton Watson, Nikola Jokic. The bench played better. Ultimately, they did play with their food a little bit in New Orleans, but found a way to finish the job, get back in the win column. 125 to 118, the final. Welcome to Nuggets Postgame Live, presented by your Front Range Toyota dealers, Katie Wingy, Bill Hanslick, and Chris Dempsey, getting into the details of this Denver Nuggets win. Kind of a back-and-forth battle in this game. Ultimately, the Denver Nuggets able to come away with it. What do you feel like was the key factor in that being the case?
Wow. Well, Demps mentioned Peyton. Obviously, that jumps up big. You know, it just seems like the Nuggets are that good where they can play the light switch game. They go, all right, we're down. What if they get down 13? And Joker just goes, all right, I'm going to hit this three. Boom. And then by the end of the quarter, they're down 2 or 4, and at half they have a 4-point lead. Then they blow it up in the third. Unfortunately, at the end of the game, it was a little tight because they were just dinking around.
Yeah, just right that middle of the fourth quarter. New Orleans was not going to stop playing, and they have a lot of young, hungry players, and so they made a game out of it. But, yeah, you know, like... It's these games, you know, you're missing some personnel if you're the Nuggets. You get off to a start that, you know, New Orleans made a lot of shots at the beginning of this game, so you couldn't really get into transition, get a lot of the easy stuff, some of the mismatch stuff that you normally get, and so it became a little bit of a slog. But I just think the good teams see their way through these kinds of situations, and the Nuggets did.
Let's talk about the Magic 8 Ball. Peyton Watson, what he was able to do in this game. It's the first time in his career he led the Nuggets in either scoring or rebounding, and he did it in the same game tonight. 32 and 12. His first career double-double, made 5 three-pointers. All of those were career highs.
Yeah, career high made threes, right?
Yeah. All of those, the highlighted career highs.
That's good.
It's pretty good night.
We need a little, where it says career highs, we got to put black box.
No, that's why they're highlighted.
PW.
It's amazing. Hands, it's amazing. You know, look, and quite honestly, as you know, as a basketball player, you know, New Orleans was leaving him open for these threes early in the game. And there is no bigger satisfaction than to say, oh, you're going to leave me open for this, and then just to knock them down in their faces the entire game. And then all of a sudden, obviously, he got into the open court, did the Peyton Watson things, and we look at all of this.
Look at all the memes.
This is amazing. What a night. He hadn't done this since high school.
And here's the thing, Peyton Watson is such a character that there's so much here. There's so many reactions
it's
that
not
are
just
so
words.
good. No. Like you have the video clips, you have all of the chain, the P-Watt chain, even the ring. I mean, it truly is. And his career high, Demps, to your point, at UCLA was only 19 points.
Yeah, it was only 19. Yeah, I figured this is the last time he had
career high was
last time he did this was in high school. Yeah, that's
Did
amazing.
he do 32 in high school? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, he told Vic that he absolutely did do this in high school.
That was the last time.
We're fact checking. Yeah. We're fact checking.
We're gonna put you on the case.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
He's your crack research staff. It's
you. PW was beautiful. Just great game. And you know, again, Nicola's like looking over, and then after the corner three, Peyton. He knew Peyton was the hot man, and he got some nice passes to him.
Well, Nikola Jokic had 12 assists in this game. Let's talk about the night for the Joker. Another triple-double against the New Orleans Pelicans, 14 of them for Nikola Jokic in his career. How was Nikola able to dissect this defense?
They don't have a center. That's my thought.
Okay, it's a good thought. You know, it's funny because you look at that number 14, triple-doubles against this team, and I can remember him playing against Boogie Cousins and Anthony Davis and Jonas Valanciunas, and it really doesn't matter if they have a center or not. And it really doesn't matter if that center's 10 feet tall or 6'8" or 12 feet tall. He gets a triple-double because that's what he does against this basketball team. And Hands, you know, they really did need it. I mean, they needed it.
I mean, he had to play a few more minutes than he wanted to. But yeah, I laugh because I'm watching the video, and it's the what is Queen? I think he's like 19.
Yeah. He was just a freshman at Maryland last year. Yeah. Yep.
And he carved him up for turkey dinner.
He did.
Queen
also had a good night.
Queen had a nice offensive game, but
they battled. Let's put it that way. They battled.
All right, you talked about the pass, Bill Hanslick. Let's get to our ball assist of the game. Presented by Ball Corporation, they remind you to choose aluminum. Really, it's behind the back. It's
Name this
Nikola
pass,
Jokic.
Hands. Name it.
Woo!
The no-looker.
The fact that Nikola Jokic delivered this where he did, in the way in which he did, I mean, it is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And that should have been a foul, too. Whew, we'll let it go.
Peyton Watson really paid this one off, too. Yeah, it's a... just dunked on that guy.
My man Queen was on him again. What did he just do there, Deb? What did he do?
Peyton Watson, what a... you know, I couldn't be happier for him. You know, and you know, Vic did ask the question, well, how do you know when to do those kinds of things? Now, that particular cut, that is just like big eyes, right? And then you know exactly, yeah, right. And you
There's no words that need to be exchanged. Right. It's just your eyes get really big.
Exactly.
And what do they say, cheeseburgers? Paul Millsap used to say dishing out cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Munching. Yum. Yum.
All right, we're going to take our first break here on Nuggets Postgame Live. When we come back, we'll head back out to New Orleans here from...
Yeah, we did, but the last 4 minutes was kind of like we had 20 turnovers total, you know, and we just have to take care of the ball better than that. They had good activity. They were flying around, but we can't get up 24 points off mistakes. And then at the end, I thought when we did break the press correctly, we have to understand that we don't have to score once you break it. You know, you can get the ball back out and bleed clock, so it'll be a good film to watch tomorrow with the guys, but a lot of positives. A lot of people stepped up tonight, you know, with Pate having a career night offensively, Zeke subbing in and doing a good job with Zion, which is a really tough matchup, you know, and a guy that hasn't played throughout the season. It was cool to see him be ready to go. So there's positives, and like you said, there's negatives, and they're some of the glaring things that we saw in the Portland game. You know, we saw that late in this game. So we have to keep watching tape when we get a chance to practice, you know, go through those things. The situational basketball, and, you know, obviously I challenge to try to keep Nikola in the game. So we, you know, just have to finish games better. That's the bottom line.
Coach, sometimes it's the little things. You're down 13 early. Spencer Jones enters the game. He doesn't fill up a box score, but he does things that don't show up in a box score. How much did he help change the tone of the game?
Yeah, I thought Spencer and Bruce. I thought both guys really got into the ball. They forced turnovers and got us runouts. Cut into that lead right away. I thought Valanciunas' energy was great as well, and we needed it, to your point. You know, it was a weird energy in the gym, and we kind of, I don't know, we mimicked it. You know, we were not all there getting up and down. Once we got back in the game, I liked our energy, to Scott's point, up until the last few minutes. But nice to have energy-changing players like Spencer and Bruce that can come in and really change the game and the way the game feels, especially on the road. Where it doesn't matter what the other team's record is, it's always hard to win the NBA on the road.
David, going with Zeke there in the starting lineup, early on, you guys gave up 18 pretty quick points in the paint. Some of that was off the turnovers and transition, but felt like you guys settled in defensively throughout the night, especially against Zion. Just what did you kind of see as far as the way you guys got through that game without Aaron, who's obviously such a perfect matchup for him?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was turnovers, to your point, and then also some of the game plan stuff I didn't think we were clean enough with early. And as the game went on, we did a much better job of shrinking behind the initial defender. The guy is such a load inside when he gets in the paint. But, you know, holding him to 14 points on 13 shots is a good number. And then, talked about before the game, only 4 free throws means we were walling up physically without fouling. And, you know, look, the NBA is hard. Winning is... It's a premium, and to find a way to do it, and you're right, with the team defense behind it and Zeke stepping in after not playing hardly at all this year, was really cool to see. Just him, the maturity of Zeke to know it's my night to play, and he's ready to go.
I'd like to follow up on that. What went into the decision to start Zeke tonight? I think some people were surprised.
Yeah, he's had success in the past as far as at least physically, you know, guarding Zion. He hasn't stopped him. No one really does one-on-one. So he's had, you know, experience doing it. And I trusted that. You know, I've been here. I've seen him do it. I remember the past. So we trust Zeke to do it. You know, on nights like this, it was the right matchup. I've made that point before. It's not going to be most popular player. It's going to start. It's going to be who makes sense to win the game. You know, we have Cam and Jamal and Nikola out there. You get a great night from Peyton offensively. That particular player was very important because it had to be.
With no Christian Brown and no Aaron Gordon, obviously some